Hello and welcome to the Woodshed Podcast. I'm Aaron Tornberg, and I'm here today with a very talented young person. Her name is Antonia, and she is 14 years old. Is that right, Antonia?
Yes.
Okay. She's 14 years old, and she's a fantastic singer-songwriter. We've had her at One Broadway Collaborative. She has performed here with other adult songwriters, and she held her own. She did a fantastic job. So we're going to hear more about how she got started and all about her life and music. That's going to be on the podcast today. But first, I want to say a couple of things about One Broadway Collaborative. We are doing great here. There's a lot of great events happening, and you should be checking our website, onebroadway.org. That's onebroadway.org. And you can check out our website any time of day or night and find out where our mailing list is. It's at the top. You click the link, and then you can sign up for the mailing list. Just give us your email and your first and last name, and you'll be on the list. Antonia's mom's on it, so I know that they can get the email. And we also have a lot of stuff on there about the shows coming up, but there's also a place to donate because we are a nonprofit organization and we can always use the help. So all that's happening. Also, I wanted to mention that if you are a musician and you want to perform, we have rehearsal space, and it'll give you a chance to rehearse with your band. So if you live in a small apartment, you can't perform because the neighbors get annoyed, then you can come here. You can make as much noise as you want. We have very reasonable rates. It's $25 an hour, and you can come and use One Broadway for your rehearsal. And we are happy to have you. All kinds of music are welcome. And we are, building out stuff all the time. So hopefully we'll have some soundproof space coming up in the future. And you should definitely check that out. So that information is going to be available on the website. But also, we have information about event space. So if you want to have a party here, that's certainly a possibility. We do that. We do also other things related to music, so like songwriting workshops. We're going to be trying to have some production workshops as well. We're working on that. So the production workshops will be basically you come in and you learn how could you do home recording. And that's with somebody to be named later who is in talks with me about it. He's a fantastic producer. So keep an ear out for that. Check the website. And all that is at onebroadway.org. That's onebroadway.org. And sign up for our mailing list. You'll get a weekly announcement of the events coming up each weekend. This coming week, we have on Friday night, we've got a Songwriters in the Round again. Kevin Queen is going to be one of the songwriters. I'm not sure who the others yet. It's a last-minute one. We're booking them right now. But it'll be a fantastic show. Songwriters in the Round is every Friday now. So Songwriters in the Round means there are 3 songwriters on stage, and each one plays one song in a round. So you do one round, each plays a song, and then 7 rounds of that. It's a really cool evening, and the songwriters talk to each other. It's a fun event. So please check that out, and all the other stuff we have. All right, I've talked enough, and I want to hear from Antonia. So, Antonia, where are you from?
I'm from Brookline, Massachusetts.
Brookline, okay. So you're up a bit. You're all the way almost at New Hampshire here. Yeah. So you said it was like an hour to get here? Yeah,
it was pretty long.
Yeah. So I hope you had a pleasant drive nonetheless and had some good music playing or something in the car. What did you listen to in the car?
We listened to some Maggie Rogers, some Lorde. I don't know. Mostly that, yeah.
Yeah? I don't know Maggie Rogers. Is she a new one?
Yeah, she's a new artist from NYU. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Of course, I know Lorde, but Maggie Rogers, I haven't heard of. That's a new one. Maybe I'll see if she can come play One Broadway sometime. So that's cool. You listen to music a lot in the car, and is that your primary listening place, or do you sit in your room and listen as well?
I don't really have time to sit in my room and listen. So yeah, the car is the time to sit listen, and of course I always sing along.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
That's great. Does your mom and dad sing along, though?
Sometimes my dad, not really my mom, though.
And you have a sister?
I have 2 sisters.
2 sisters.
Yeah.
And do they sing along, too, with you? You harmonize?
Yeah.
Okay.
We attempt to harmonize.
Okay, well, you can only learn how to harmonize if you attempt it, so that's a good sign. So what do you do for fun?
I'm in Boy Scouts, which is fun. I do music with most of my time. I play guitar, piano, I sing, I hang out with friends. I'm in the school government. I do homework.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be a ski instructor, so I do sports a lot. I'm currently a diver.
Wow. You do a lot of stuff.
Yes, I do.
Very talented. What do you do with diving? You like are in a regular diving team, or?
Yep. So at the high school, they offer for each season you can do a sport. So I chose diving, and it's just off a board into the water, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually scared of the high dive. I was always scared. I finally got over it, but it took a while. It's a big step when you're a little kid and you see the high dive. It's hard to jump off of that thing.
Yeah. I've definitely done a lot of belly flops.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Right. That's part of the job. So I also am curious about Boy Scouts. I had heard girls are joining Boy Scouts now. Which was, of course, not the case in the past.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that? How did that happen, and why did you join?
Yeah, so I still call it Boy Scouts, but it's officially called Scouts, and Scouts is now co-ed, although I'm the only girl currently in my troop. And so I also have a twin brother, and when I was younger, I was in Girl Scouts, but I didn't enjoy it as much because it just wasn't very interesting for me, so I noticed all the cool trips and experiences my brother was having, and so then I was like, oh, I want to join. So I joined, and it's been really awesome and really fun. Yeah. Yeah,
and they let you.
Yeah. Yeah, they were actually very excited about it. Yeah.
Well, how long have they been doing that where girls can join?
Probably like 10 years. Yeah. But it hasn't been a big thing yet. They're trying to recruit more girls to join scout troops, but it's been slow, but they're working on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really neat. Do you go to like a Boy Scout camp or Scout camp?
Yeah. So this summer I went to my first Scout camp. It's usually like a week long, and then there's a bunch of different activities that you do to rank up in the different classes that you can be in for Scouts, and you learn a ton of different stuff, and it's really fun.
Do they have ranks still?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your rank?
Tenderfoot.
Still?
I've been moving slow. I'm busy.
I'll tell you something. I never got past that either. I was in Boy Scouts, and I went to Scout camp. I did the mile swim. That's what I was really proud of, was the mile swim. I was like the last one, second to last one in the pool. Everybody else was done for hours. It took me like 2 hours to do the mile swim, but I was small and
you pushed through.
Yeah. Did you do that one?
No, I have not. I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, you're just in the pool. You just keep swimming. It's not a big... And you're a diver, so it's not like you're afraid of the water or anything.
True. But doesn't mean I'm a good swimmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a different skill slightly.
Yeah.
But, well, that's cool. So at Scout camp, do you like stay in your own cabin or tent or...
Yeah, so because I'm the only girl in my troop, usually 2 guys share a tent, but I got to have my own because I can't be in the same tent as a guy. So,
right.
Yeah, they have these little tents with just 2 cots in them.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
I don't think it changed much since
Yeah, I don't
then.
think so, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what kind of activities did you do at Scout camp? Were there particular things you got badges in maybe?
Yeah. So to be able to advance through the ranks, there's these things called merit badges. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know about them.
Yeah.
And they're different different areas where you can learn a lot about one specific thing. and then you get a merit badge. So I did swimming, so it's just like basic rules of swimming. I did, I think, community service in the community, and then I did lifeguarding, I believe, and just a bunch of different ones about like survivor skills. I forget all the merit badges and what they're called, but just a ton of different things about like how to survive in the wilderness and first aid and just like life skills, you know.
I wonder if you'd be interested in seeing, next time I see you, I have the books from like 1960.
Yeah.
Would you like to see those?
Yes, yes. I've heard they've changed a lot. The advancements are a little bit different now.
They're really antiquated. The book, I've actually looked at the books. First of all, I had Cub Scout books because I had Cub Scout, which was like bear and I can't even remember the ranks, but bear and wolf, I think I remember. And you have like a book for each rank. And so I had bear and wolf, and then Webelos, you know, and then Boy Scouts. But I didn't stay on for very long to get like I said, I was tenderfoot. I stayed tenderfoot. I never got above that. Also, they let me in when I was 10, which was young.
Well, that's I think it's either 10 or 11.
It's 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they let me in early because, you know, they wanted me to join, and you know, I didn't really like my Cub Scout troop as much then. So, but it was fun. You know, it's an experience. I remember sleeping in a huge barn in the winter with no heat.
Yep, that's one of the challenges.
Did you do that? Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I think this winter I should be building my own fort in the middle of the winter and sleeping in that with like nothing. So that should be fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
I never heard of building your own fort. What does that mean?
I think it's just one of like, you know, applying our knowledge to actually like use it in wilderness survival. So you just use materials, find sticks, and make something that you can sleep in. I'm not really sure. It's very, from my friends who have done it, they don't really sleep, and it's definitely an experience.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
I hope you do well.
Thanks.
So now the question is, isn't there a music merit badge?
I believe so. Actually, I had a meeting with one of my scout leaders on Thursday night, and he said that I should start doing that one because I'd get through it very fast.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I remember there being one. I just didn't know. I don't know what they still do, you know.
Yeah, I don't think the merit badges have changed too much. Maybe they have a couple new ones. But.
I did basket weaving. Did you do that one?
No, I've done welding, woodworking.
I did woodworking and wood carving. We did
wood carving. Yeah. Those are always really fun.
I made a toucan looking bird. Oh. Did you do that one or what?
I just played with this stick. Yeah, I didn't really make anything, but
yeah, they had this like specific project, and you could buy it as a kit, and then you just you carve along the lines basically and
that's
get
cool.
it, and then you sand it and you paint it.
I welded a knife though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just heat up a piece of metal and just hammer it and ship it.
I don't think I would have been allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, there's a knife maker here in the building. You ought to check it out sometime.
Maybe. Yeah.
He has a forge, and he does amazing work.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Mixes the metal and actually has like striped knives where he mixes. It's like the two kinds of metal kind of line up beside each other.
Yeah.
You should really check it out. So when you're here sometime, I'll show you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he's a nice guy too, and he's also a drummer. So,
ooh, okay.
So you could, maybe he could be your drummer someday. Yeah. You never know. But the stuff you're doing sounds very exciting. I mean, you do a lot.
Yeah.
So what I missed? What else do you do that you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, my life is school, homework, more work, trying to get stuff for college applications, music. Yeah, sports when I can, work when I can. But it's fun. It's nice.
Are you trying to get in early to college, or?
No, I just want to get into a good college so that it can help me with my music career and just help me with life in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just the more I do, the more experiences I'll have, and the better I'll be off in life. And it's also fun. I enjoy being busy. I don't like having nothing to do. So.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great. So, you're here to play some music. Would you like to play a song?
Sure, I'll play. I recently wrote this song like a week ago, so you haven't heard this one yet.
All right, I'm waiting to hear.
Okay. Dust on the counter in my lungs. I can't breathe, love. What is that? I don't know what it means, but I love you. What? I don't know. You come and go like seasons. Fall and winter snow, falling down on my knees, but I'll fall for you. Dust on the counter in my lungs. I can't breathe, love. What is that? I don't know what it means, but I love you. Thanks.
Nice. I like that song.
Thank you.
You just wrote that?
Yeah.
Yeah. At 11 o'clock at night, you said.
Yes. Yeah. That's when I can fit it in.
Yeah. You do so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you write a song? What do you usually do? Like, what inspires you?
Well, music is my therapy, basically. And, having such a busy life, there's always so much going on in my brain and not a lot of time to process it. So my emotions just come out in the form of music. So I can just pick up a guitar or the piano and I'll just make a tune. And, sometimes my songs are about specific things. Sometimes they're about a mix of emotions, a mix of experiences, and it just comes out in words. It's not really like a very formulated, like, exact process. It's more just natural, and it kind of comes out of me however it does. And just whatever I'm feeling. A lot of times if I had a really tough day or a really great day, whenever I have a strong emotion, I'm able to just say it through music. And it just comes out the way it does.
Yeah. When you write, you say you pick up a guitar and then it just comes out. But, do you pick up the guitar and it just, like, the words and the music all kind of just mesh? Or do you ever struggle with trying to put the words in the right spot or put the music with the words?
So I've written songs many different ways, whether that be writing the lyrics first and then later coming back with a melody or in a tune, or having guitar and then just adding lyrics. But usually I find a cool riff on guitar. I just play around. I mean, when I play piano, it's harder for me to find something with more variety than what I normally play. And so with guitar, I'm able to come up with more newer sounds and riffs that I can just write lyrics to. And usually what I do is I'll just keep on playing those chords or riff or whatever it is over and over again and just record on my phone and just sing, and it just comes out, you know. When I was younger, on our long car rides, we have a house in New Hampshire, so 2 hours from my home in Boston to New Hampshire. And I would just keep on listing words and just like singing a random song and just saying it over and over again and just like rhyming for hours. And so now I can just make something up on the spot, and then I just go back and whatever I like, I play with that and turn it into a song. Yeah.
Wow. So but you play piano, so you do read music, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever write down your songs as, like, do you transcribe them, or do you just write them down as words and chords like I do?
I have transcribed them before, but that is too much work.
I know, it is.
And I feel like it takes away from the musical process. You know, I just want to write the music, but not physically write down the music, you know?
Right.
So I usually just like write down the chords, and, you know, I play them. Once I have a song, I play it on repeat so much so I can just memorize it in the spot, although my family gets very annoyed by that. But I just play it over and over again, and that's kind of how I remember it. And then on my phone, on the notes app, I just write down the lyrics and the chords.
Well, you know, there are headphones if your family gets too annoyed. But
not headphones for your voice, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, shut your door. You have a room with your sister, or?
Yep, I share a room with my younger sister.
I'm sure she loves it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're proud of you, even though, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
Might get annoying to them at times, but you know, it's cool. You're performing.
Yeah.
So how often do you perform?
Well, so when I was younger, I've always done like the school musicals, any open mic at my school. I would go all out, wear a crazy outfit, and have like a whole big thing, and really any opportunity I had. And then this previous summer, like during quarantine, I actually was able to record my music. And then from that, in New Hampshire, I've been performing at many open mics and gigs, and you know, places I've seen people perform, I just ask the manager, and they're like, sure. So, and then I just perform there, and recently I've been performing. This summer I performed like a couple times a week. Right now I've been performing less because I'm very busy with school, but I do as much as I can. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what you do. You just ask the manager and and then say sure.
I mean, even last night I went to just like a fun talent show at my high school. Not a lot of people, and my friends just asked me to come, and then I ended up playing something. So, you know, whenever I can, and I already have a repertoire of music. So if somebody asks me to, I can just, you know.
You sound like all the rest of the singer-songwriters I know. You know, it's just you'll play anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, is just playing the music as much as you can, because it's great.
Yeah,
you know?
I was actually, so for Boy Scouts, I did a 2-week backpacking trip in New Mexico at a scout range called Philmont. And the last day we were at base camp, and they were doing a big closing campfire. And at the end, they asked, hey, does anybody want to come up and play something? I think it was a joke. But of course, I ran up there, and I played a song. And that was in front of a couple hundred random Boy Scouts from all over the country.
And they loved it, I bet.
Yeah. And I wasn't prepared. You know, I was backpacking for the last 2 weeks, so it was just very random. But
So you had your guitar with you, or?
They had a guitar.
Oh, they had one.
And I actually picked it up, and I was about to play. Then the strap came undone, and the guitar fell. So then I had to pick it up, and then I started playing, but it got out of tune because it fell. So then I had to spend time retuning it, and then I ended up playing. But yeah, it's fun.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you've done a lot of stuff. You've been traveling a lot, and did you ever go outside of the United States, or are you pretty much just doing Boy Scout stuff around?
I have been outside of the United States, but not for any like music or Boy Scout related things.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I've been to England, and 2 years ago we went on a trip around Europe, so like Italy and places like that. That's mostly it, I believe. I've been to Canada. Went to Niagara Falls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite place outside the U.S. that you've been?
That I've been? Well, I do not love England because it's very gray and cold and gloomy there. And
not always, but yeah.
Well, most of the time. And the weather reflects, like, my happiness and my mood. So I'd say Italy. It was really nice and warm there.
Where'd you go in Italy?
I do not remember the name of the place. Perugia? Okay, Perugia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been around the United States a fair bit as well?
I actually used to live in Seattle.
So okay.
I guess, yeah, you could say. Haven't really gone to the South as much, but I've been around, like, New England, those areas, but yeah.
Do you gig around New England in different cities, or
mostly New Hampshire and Brookline. I was a part of a choir, and we did go to Maine and New York too, but that's about it. Yeah.
Well, I think I need to hear another song. What do you think?
Sure, yeah. Okay. Let's see. This song is actually on my EP, which is on Spotify. It's called 3 Minutes Older. If you guys want to take a listen, it's called Not Over You. Sitting here, days feel like hours. I'm sick of tears, ripping the flowers you gave to me. You said you'd never leave. Guess you were lying. Your name is crossed like it never existed. A love we lost, a plot that untwisted like a bird with no song. I no longer belong. I guess we had nothing. Shouldn't have cried when you left, but I was so through, and I guess I'll admit I'm not over you. It just hurt me inside, 'cause I had no clue. Not over you. When you were around, life was so careless, but now my world's upside down. Afternoon showers rain down on me. Oh, I can barely breathe. I'm barely breathing. Shouldn't have cried when you left, but I was so through, and I guess I'll admit I'm not over you. It just hurt me inside, 'cause I had no clue. Not over you. You cheated me, and yet there's not much I regret. I gave everything, and I do it again. And now that you're with her, we haven't said a word. You'll be blinded like we were. Shouldn't have cried when you left, but I was so through, alone and bereft. I'm not over over you. It was such a surprise, 'cause I had no clue. Not over you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
So who's that about?
Well, that was one of my hypothetical songs. So a lot of times I write songs about experiences that I imagine being in. I'm a people person, so I imagine being in people's shoes a lot and what it would be like. So that's like a breakup song. But I've never had a breakup, so not personal experience, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it sounded like you did. That was good.
Well, that was the point, so
right.
Thank you.
So you do a good job. So what's the history of how you got into music? I mean, when did you start this process?
Well, I mean, I've always been a little musician, you know, but when I lived in Seattle, my dad plays piano, and so he would just teach me like chords and scales when I was younger, when I was about 3. And, you know, I remember when I was younger, my twin brother and I, we shared a bedroom, and we had this little boom box, and we would play Glenn Campbell, and we would be like jumping around in our beds, singing along. So, you know, we've always been a pretty musical family. But when I was about 3 or 4, I started actually getting piano lessons, and I had like 2 guitar lessons when I was that age. And then we moved to Boston, and I continued piano lessons, and I joined a choir. And in 4th grade, I actually started getting guitar lessons. So, and then I was always performing in musicals, and in 4th grade, I wrote my first official song. That was like a big deal, you know? And that year, I performed it in my school talent show. So, but I've always been like playing music and singing, and it's just been such a part of my life, and you know, it's just me, you know, and then most of my friends are musicals, so whenever we hang out, we're always writing music or singing music. We've performed together. It's just part of my life now, and I love it. So
yeah, well, it sounds great. And so you joined a choir, you said, and I think you mentioned, what was the name of it?
It's called Voices Boston. Yeah,
so what is that choir about?
So, I mean, any child, I think maybe it starts in kindergarten through 8th grade. And it's kids from all over Boston can go. And I mean, for me, it was really amazing because not only is it just a choir, so like we sing songs, you know, as the choir does, and I made some amazing friends. My best friends are from that choir. But they also gave me opportunities to perform in operas, to perform in symphony hall, to do musicals. And, you know, it really shaped me as a musician and had me grow and gave me some amazing opportunities that completely changed my life. So it's really great. If you live in Boston, I suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you learn from that experience?
Well, I mean, not only did it make me a better musical person and gave me like my best friends and just changed me completely, but it taught me really to take your opportunities and use those well. I was given so many opportunities, and I mean, my parents tell me this, but you know, no kid really listens to their parents completely. But it taught me to take my experiences and really use them, and it also taught me that music it's not like math. It's not like, and it's also not like a chore or anything. You know, to be able to be a musician, you have to love it. And it's such a community, you know, music isn't just, you know, songs or playing an instrument. It's a community of people, and a community of people you can relate to, not only through music and just through life. And music is just so much more than just, you know, the sound that's produced when you sing a song. And it's just like really amazing and life-changing for so many people.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I've had the same experience. It's exciting to be able to play in front of people and have them actually appreciate what you're doing.
You know, and I think for example, in school, we are drilled with academics, like, math, science, social studies, English, and those are like the key parts of our learning. But one thing about music is it connects people so much. I mean, you don't have to be a musician to be connected to it. I remember when I was younger, I would listen to songs and I'd be like, whoa, I feel the exact same way, or that happened to me. And it's just a way that, regardless of our differences or whatever we believe or think, we can all come together and just agree upon music, listen to music, play music, and just relate through that, you know?
Yeah. I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So when you did choir, but what else did you do collaboratively? Like, how did you play with other musicians? Did you ever, like, think of getting a partner or something like that?
Well, for the partner question, I actually started an a cappella group when I was in 5th grade, and some songs that I wrote, I arranged harmonies and had my friends sing them, and that did not go extremely well. And they took credit for my song, which, I got kind of mad at. I was in 5th grade, not the most mature kid. But I also just find, for me, creating the music alone is what I like to do. I don't mind performing with people, but the fact, I don't want to, like, music is like my own therapy and my thing, that I like to do alone. Whenever I practice music in my house, I always shut the doors and don't let anybody listen, it's just like my own therapeutic thing. So I never really wanted to have a partner or a band, really. But I still, like, I've always been a very social person, so whoever was a musician at my school or whoever I knew, I would always ask to, like, hang out and play music and just get inspiration from them. And I was always in school musicals and always did everything related to music with people. So I've always been performing with people, but for the actual songwriting process, I usually prefer writing alone, just because when it comes to songwriting, I have such a clear vision because it just pops up in my head, and having someone else there, I could try more, but it seems harder to do so because I have such a clear vision on how I think the music should sound and how I feel it goes,
So how did you start learning new stuff on guitar? Like, 'cause I've been wondering that. Like, I used to learn from friends. So, like, they would play a guitar lick, and I would learn their guitar lick, and then, we would trade off, like, some popular song, and we would figure it out, and then, here's how you play that.
Yeah.
And everybody played Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
Of course.
And Jimi Hendrix and some other stuff. What do you do? Because I know now a lot of people learn from YouTube, and it's just right out there. You don't even have to talk to your friends. You just get it from YouTube, and there it is. I'm done. What do you do?
So I had a guitar teacher, although we didn't really do guitar. We worked on songs. He's a great musician, so we just talked about music, and it was just like an all music class. But the reason I think I started guitar was just so that I could just play songs and sing to them. So probably when I was in 5th grade, I started just online. You can just search up a song and search up the guitar chords and just play it. So for hours a day in my free time during the summers, usually I would just search up tons of songs that I loved singing, and I would just learn them on guitar. And then I was like, you know what, chords, just simple, boring chords are kind of just boring. I need a little bit more. So I started playing around with fingerstyle and, like, muting the guitar and more tablature and soloing and different techniques. And none of my friends are really guitarists, so I never really learned from them. And my guitar teacher, I did learn some things, but it was more just songwriting together, But I really just played around and experimented, and because I had a vision of what I wanted my songs to sound like, I just played around with the guitar and used my ear to figure out what sounded cool. And that's how I developed more of my technique. But now I have a new guitar teacher where we're actually working on more technical things, so I've been improving with that. But just, like, inspiration and hearing different songs, and, I was like, I want to do that, so I just figured it out. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the guitar work you're doing, I mean, you do a lot of finger picking and stuff like that, but are you getting tablature for some of that technique, or you're just sort of improvising how you do it when you write a song?
I just improvise. I mean, as I said earlier, music for me, it's not a specific formula or specific rules to do so. You just, however you feel. It's hard to explain. It just comes out through the music. So I just, however I feel. I mean, I'm pretty good with music theory, so I know like what won't work in a chord, what won't work with the song. And from that, I can just experiment. And because I've been experimenting with the guitar for a while now, it's easy for me to just like play around and know what sounds right. So usually I don't write down all like the specific notes, you know, I don't do that. I'm like, okay, around this chord, and I know the chords that sound good within that chord, and then what notes would work, and I just...
Do you ever like play with someone else where you're playing lead and they're, you know, you're backing them up by doing lead?
Yeah, with my guitar teacher, yeah, I did that a lot. I don't know, I'm less of a lead person. I like just doing good chords and finger style, just because, I mean, the reason I did guitar is to support my singing and my creation of music. So also I don't really write rock, which is more, you know, soloing and stuff. That's not my style as much. But I mean, I still do it sometimes, and it's fun. I don't know.
So what do you call yourself, like in terms of where you fit musically?
For like genre?
Genre, or like singer-songwriter, for example. It's where I put you right away, but what else would you say?
I don't know. My intro, whenever I perform, it's just like, hi, I'm Antonia. I'm a 14-year-old singer-songwriter. I'd say my music, it's more alternative pop, sometimes some jazz and blues, sometimes some rock. It's a mixture of things, but definitely like kind of folky, you know, very singer-songwriter music, you know. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
So where did you get that? What influences do you have, like, in that world?
You know, ironically, I don't listen to a lot of music that's more singer-songwriter. Like, you know, with my mom, I listen to a ton of Prince, and, you know, with my dad, I listen to,
Your mom's
like...
got good taste.
Oh, I know. And with my dad, I listen to, like, ELO and Queen and AC/DC and Frank's... I mean, I listen to all different types of music and all different genres and from all different cultures. I actually, like, last year a lot, I like to study different cultures and how that influenced modern music and how it's all combined to create what, you know, we hear on the radio today. And I don't know, I just think I pulled from a little bit of everything, and also my ability, you know, for my voice especially. I recently got a voice teacher, and I've been working on singing differently, but I've always been singing in the choir, and the goal in the choir is to blend and to use like a light, what you call head voice. And, you know, rock is more like, you could say shouty and a little more like textured, but, you know, singing in a choir, that's not at all how you're supposed to sound, you know. Right. You don't want to sound like that. So, I mean, singing in a choir, that definitely made me be a little bit more folksy and, like, you know, light singing. And then I just think you know, after playing so many songs, I just took inspiration from those. Some operas I was in, actually, I found, like, good melodies that I really liked and chord progressions I liked from those, and I turned those into songs.
Which operas?
I was in The Turn of the Screw. I was in Tosca. I was in La Boheme. I was in a couple others. I forget the names, though. But especially, so this one opera that I was in called The Turn of the Screw, which was actually last year. There was this one line that I really liked. So I went into the score, and I found it, and I circled it, and then I went to the piano, and I had my score on the piano, and I was playing around with it. It was just like 3 notes or something. But then also, you know, like the orchestra beneath those, the singer was moving, and I loved how it all mixed together. So then I figured out the chords and what I liked about that. And then from there, I just use that. So I do that. I actually do that a good amount. So, and that not only from operas, you know, just other genres of music that aren't necessarily like pop that I like, that are a little bit different. Because I've been trying to also do more like blues and jazz and just make my music a little bit less bland, you know, spice it up a little bit with incorporating different genres and inspiration from other genres.
Do you play slide?
I've tried it before, but not really. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to spice it up, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
Slide is great. So you listening to a lot of jazz and blues now too, to try and
not as much as I would like to, but I do when I can. And I've had my piano teacher, you know, like teach me the blues scale and stuff like that. And I've been trying to learn more about like blues and jazz music theory. And, you know, a lot of like the Beatles, for example. Mm-hmm. One reason why they were such an amazing band and, you know, so many people love them is because it wasn't just born chords. You know, they pulled inspiration, especially from blues and jazz and those chords, in order to make their music a little bit more interesting. So if you notice, you know, the way their chords are, the chord progression that they have takes a lot from blues and jazz. And, you know, they never just have like a boring, you know, major chord like C major, you know. Mm-hmm. It's always C major 7 or like something different that gives the music more texture and more tension and gives it more dynamics, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's really like what set them apart from other bands. So I've been trying to take inspiration from other artists like that to change up my music to make it more interesting. Yeah.
You know, one thing you made me think of is, have you seen the show Rent? It's rated R.
No, but I know about it.
Yeah, because it's, and you know that's based on La Boheme.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, mm-hmm. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And they even, because when you were saying you borrowed something from it, I mean, Rent took La Boheme actually directly. I mean, some mm-hmm. of the music in it is directly related to La Boheme. Like it's from the opera. So, that's a good technique. I think it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to look in like the history of music and see. I mean, even classical music, like, you know, even Mozart, right? Mm-hmm. Like all music has been recreated, and obviously you can't copyright a song, but taking inspiration from songs is what evolves our modern music, and which makes the music that we listen to the music that we listen to today, you know. And music is about creating your own things, but also taking inspiration from other musicians and creating new stuff out of that, you know. Mm-hmm. It's all just a little give and take, you know.
Well, it's an evolution. I mean, everybody has to play somebody else's stuff first in order to even get anywhere. And actually, that brings me to a question. Let's say I have you at a campfire at the Boy Scouts. Mm-hmm. What do you play?
Well, I usually wouldn't play an original song. I usually just do my classic Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
So one reason is because, first of all, you don't need a capo. And a lot of times when I show up to a place to perform, and then they ask me, hey, do you want to perform? They usually don't have a capo. And a capo is the thing that clips onto a guitar to change the key. And because of my voice, I usually need a capo to change the key. So this song, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, does not need a capo. And I've been playing it for a long time. It works well for my voice. I know it very well. And it's just my go-to song, you know? Mm-hmm. So I usually start performances with that song, too.
Yeah, and what else? Like, do you do folk songs, or do you just do pop songs, typically?
I would say pop songs. The thing about, for me, finding, like, covers to play is there's many good songs out there, right? Mm-hmm. But it's also thinking about, you know, what can I play well on the instrument that I'm playing, and what can I sing well? Because a lot of times there's a really good song that I like, but it just doesn't suit my voice well. So, I mean, you know, pop songs usually works for me because that's how I sing more. And so I would say more pop. And also, like, they're the most easy songs to learn. So I could learn, like, tons of pop songs in one day. And I could have them memorized and ready to go, right? So usually they're the easiest. So that's the most covers that I perform in that genre, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you ever do, like, a sing-along song with people?
Like
have them, like, singing along with you? Like, so what would you do for that?
Well, actually, even last night I was hanging out with some friends. Anytime I hang out with my musical friends, I just pick up the guitar and I'm like, hey guys, what do you want to sing? And then they just tell me a song and I just search it up on my phone. I just search up, like, the song, guitar chords. And I have this app, I forget what it's called, but it just gives you the songs with the chords. And I usually know the chords, and if I know the song, I can just play it. And then we just sing along, and, you know.
It's a pretty impressive skill at your age.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said earlier, like, a couple years ago, that's what I would just do, because I just wanted to be able to play the songs. So I would just search them up, and it was very fun for me. You know, I think one thing about music, you know, the only reason, I mean, you can't do it without the passion. Like anything, you know, in life, you need to love what you're doing,
right, in
order to be inspired to, like, work at it, because, you know, it's one of the main things in my life. And if I didn't have the passion to do it, you know, why would I want to do it? Mm-hmm. And where would I find the inspiration to actually get it done? So it's definitely a lot of time, but because I love it so much, it's not like a chore, it's a hobby, you know. And I'd rather do that than really anything. Sometimes I'd rather play music than hang out with friends or family, you know. So
don't tell your family that, though.
Hi, Mom.
So you want to play another?
Sure. This song I wrote, I think, at the beginning of quarantine, so pretty relatable lyrics, I feel like. I don't know where my life's gone. I feel like everything has stopped. Sick of turning all the lights on, 'cause the darkness is a lot. It's hard to think about the good times when everything feels so lost. But we gotta keep our hearts strong, 'cause right now it's all we got. One day we'll look back on this all and remember how it was really this difficult to not be with each other. Search and discover and love one another. Toss and turn and no, I can't sleep. Something's keeping me awake. Maybe it's all the memories in my head from better days. Thinking back on all the lifetimes we've been running in this race. We have to find out what's important now and not just leave it up to fate. One day we'll look back on this all and remember how it was really this difficult to not be with each other. Search and discover and love one another. And I know we'll find a way someday, and I know we'll be okay. Just wait, no need to be afraid. We all feel the same way. Just wait, and one day we'll look back this all and remember how it was really this difficult to not be with each other. Search and discover and love one another.
I like that one a lot. I remember that one from the show. Also, I actually think I put up that video on my Facebook. And that was the video I chose because I think that's a really nice one.
Thank you.
And, so many people are having a hard time because of COVID, and so it really speaks to that. And I think it's a good one.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, it definitely was very relatable, especially, like, in the midst of COVID. Yeah, and I was thinking about how I was feeling, but I was also very lucky that my family and I we weren't very disrupted by the virus and the whole lockdown, but I know so many people were, and so many lives were completely changed. And so I really wanted to write a song just connecting to people, and a song for other people to relate to, and to be able, I know we all know that everybody is going through this right now, but it's nice to have a song that kind of speaks for you. That's what I like about music,
Yeah, and you do it well.
Thank you.
So what did you guys do during COVID? Were you doing online school and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we did online school, although I wouldn't really call it school. I probably had like 2 hours of work a day, but luckily my family and I were in New Hampshire, so this was around like April and May, and a lot of the time we would hike a 4,000 footer, and then we would like sled down it. I would carry a sled on the back of my backpack and sled down it, and that at that point in COVID, almost every day we would go hiking, and that was just, that was honestly amazing. It was so beautiful, and I was so grateful that I was able to do that, and not stuck in a house, because first of all, that would not be enjoyable, and I know it affected a lot of people's mental health as well. So being able to be in the mountains and being in the fresh air and just being out in nature was really amazing and very memorable. And I wish I could do it again, although now I have school. But
well, you can do it, just not every day.
Yeah. But yeah. And school, I did not learn a lot. And then in 8th grade, when COVID was still happening, I was able to switch schools. So I had probably 2 weeks of online school the whole year, which was really nice. So I was able to be in person a lot, which I'm also very grateful for. I know a lot of people didn't get to experience that. So, yeah.
Well, I'd like to hear another song. You got another one in your back pocket there?
Yes. This is a very sad one. But,
okay. I'll try not to cry.
Sad songs are my favorite thing. Yeah.
Okay.
White tattoos drawn on your leg. You said I'm fine, but I know it's all in your head, 'cause you haven't left your room in years, hiding away in the dark, masking tears. I know what hides behind your walls, faking the smile won't get very far. And I know you all too well. I can see you're trapped inside of yourself. You say you hide, not from the fear, just because you don't like anyone here. But I see the way you're looking at her. You're still finding yourself, inflicting the hurt. But I know you feel so alone, trying to find some peace in the unknown. I can't just stand here by watching you die inside. But don't go, you gotta get up before it gets to you. I know you're feeling so lost, but life will get you through. Don't worry, we all get stuck, but you gotta move. You'll make it through. I I saw you dressed in white. I thought I was hallucinating, had to check twice. I walked right past your house. Memories they came to me, I had to kick them out, 'cause I'll just cry. And I'll just cry, 'cause now you're gone.
Who's that about?
That's my best friend.
Yeah.
My best friend, yeah. Yeah, she was going through a really rough time, still is, and a lot of my friends are dealing with a lot of mental health issues. And, you know, it's a very big deal, and especially last year I realized that, you know, a lot of my friends were not doing great. So I wrote a song about it, as I do. Yeah.
So, what do they do about it? I mean, are they getting help and stuff like that?
You know, for a lot of my friends, they wouldn't really seek help. So what I did, I tried to help them. And, you know, some people I helped a lot, and other times they didn't want to be helped, or, you know, there was nothing I could do because, you know, these are also my friends. I can't invade their personal space, or, you know, it's a very tough situation when you're helping people who are not in a good mental state. So I tried to help them. I told their parents, you know, it's still going on for a lot of people, but a lot of the times they just don't want help because, you know, it's hard for them to be happy, and they just don't, you know, a lot of times they also have bad relationships with their parents, and so they don't want help from their parents because, you know, they don't want anything to do with them, you know. I think happens in a lot of teenagers. But yeah, so it was really tough last year, and I mean, for a lot of people it's still really hard, but, you know, it's life.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's always been hard to be a teenager. You know, things rapidly change, and you sort of start growing up, and it's painful at times. And but during COVID, I can't even imagine, because when I was a teenager, that's not what was happening, and I was allowed to be a little messed up.
Yeah.
Right? I was able to do that and still be safe, but, you know, it was really a hard time, even for adults.
Yeah.
And I think it's impressive that you are able to put yourself in touch with other people's situation. I mean, that is a skill that most people can't have.
Yeah.
They just can't understand how to do that. So I think you've got a very special way about you, and I think you're going to do well.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're around so that you can help people and spread your music.
Yeah, thank you.
What are your plans in terms of music? I mean, obviously you're talking about going to college and you want to go to good school. Mm-hmm. Is that for music, or is that something else?
Well, I'm very planned out for my whole life. I mean, a lot of things I do is for college applications. You know, I mean, they're still good experiences, but, you know, I mean, I have goals for college. If I can before college, I mean, music is my dream, right? That's what I want to do in life. I want to be a singer-songwriter. I want to tour. I want to be able to create better music and improve as a musician and be able to spread my music everywhere, you know? But if, you know, obviously I'm planning on going to college before that, so I want to go to college for music and neuroscience. Two very different things, but...
Not really.
I mean, they're connected, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the plan right now. I want to go to NYU and study music there. So, yeah, I mean, right now the plan is just to do really well in school and do as much as I can, get into my dream college and do music there, and then hopefully have a career in music. I mean, that's my life's goal, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing in terms of college application process? Are you like, are there specific tasks you have to complete in order to fulfill a particular requirement on the NYU application? Like, what do you do for that?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I am a freshman, so,
Yeah.
but, well, I mean, I know to get into, NYU is a pretty hard college to get into, so, I'm getting all A's, A pluses, doing as many musical things I can do, and, I mean, I already have music online, and I've just as much performing as I can do to get in, and also, I don't necessarily want to go to Berklee College of Music, but I know a lot of people who work there on admissions and teachers there and people who went to Berklee. So I know a lot about, how I could get into that. And NYU is also a musical school, so I'm assuming it's pretty similar. So I've had a lot of advice from other musicians through connections I have on what to do. So, taking their advice and just musicking ahead.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you got another song?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Wait, let me remember which one I was going to do. Give me a minute.
The next one.
Yeah, that one. Here. I'll do this one. Okay. I don't wanna hear it. I know what's on your mind. Forget it, it's all fine. No, I want you to listen. Done playing all my cards, ignoring the alarms. Now all the sirens screaming in my head. The cops aren't coming, they're all dead. Oh well, oh well. And the stars reflect the city lights that burn so bright in my mind. Oh well, oh well. So go talk to all your friends. I'm cutting my split ends. Think I'll dye my hair red. Been trying to read your mind. I'm wasting all my time. I'm done. So done. I don't wanna hear it. Stop checking your phone. Turns out you're not alone. I'm right here. And friends are supposed to talk. Just talk. All the sirens screaming in my head. The cops aren't coming, they're all dead. Oh well, oh well. And the stars reflect the city lights that burn so bright in my mind. Oh well, oh well. So go talk to all your friends. I'm cutting my split ends. I think I'll dye my hair red. Been trying to read your mind. I'm wasting all my time. I'm so done. Oh, yeah, I'm so done. So go talk to all your friends. I'm cutting my split ends. I think I'll dye my hair. I've been trying to read your mind. I'm wasting all my time. I'm done.
So tell us about that song.
Well, that song is about my dad. I got annoyed with my dad, and so I wrote a song about it, I mean, kids get annoyed with their parents sometimes, so obviously I didn't feel that strongly about it. In music, I tend to exaggerate my emotions because, they're about emotions, and a lot of the times I'll base my songs off an experience, but it's not about one person or one experience. So I mean, I think the reason I started writing that song was about my dad, but then there were other frustrations in my life. And so, you know, as you can tell, like the chorus and the pre-chorus weren't really about him, and it was about other things in my life that related with the feeling of frustration and maybe anger, you know, and about different people that I was frustrated with. So it's a lot of times I'll have like an initial person or experience or emotion that I'll start a song with, but it's usually not just about one thing. It's a big mix of things that inspire one song. So started with my dad, and then it was kind of just experiences that I had that I wanted to put into a song. Yeah. I mean, it was that
and
song.
You didn't like your split ends, obviously.
Well, actually, that song was kind of random. Last year in class, so my hair has always been extremely long, and probably in April last year, I cut my hair pretty short. But because of the length of my hair was not extremely healthy, which means it had a lot of split ends. So in class last year, I used to get like the school scissors, and when I was bored, I would just like cut off my split ends. My mom's listening to this right now. Hi, Mom. But, so, I mean, that, and then I think I'll dye my hair red. I actually never dyed my hair red, but last year I dyed the tips of my hair blue, and then a different time I dyed them purple. One of the lines I wrote is, like, the stars reflect the city lights. That's about, so in my room in Brookline, I have the whole view of the city of Boston, and, you know, there's tons of lights from all the city, you know, and they're very beautiful. But then when I go to New Hampshire, you know, in Brookline, you cannot see the stars. There, you can see planes, you can see clouds, you cannot see stars. There's no such thing as stars. But in New Hampshire, because of there's way less light pollution, you can see all the stars. So that's kind of just a comparison between, you know, Boston and New Hampshire. You know, the stars reflect the city lights. And so the lyrics are kind of random, but I kind of like it. So
I don't think they're random exactly. I think they're just...
Yeah.
They're related. They're just mostly related in your head rather than the audience's head. But, yeah, I can see the relation.
Yeah.
So, what are your plans this summer? Do you have anything in particular? Are you going to scout camp again?
Probably scout camp, and then I'm going to be working again. Working, writing music.
Working, writing music,
yeah. Yeah. The usual. Working. No, like actually working.
Working where?
A summer camp. I'm a camp counselor, yeah.
Yeah, which camp?
It's this new camp. It's called Cascades Camp.
Mm-hmm.
It started last year, so I worked this summer at it. That's an overnight camp, and it's actually very fun, although children have a lot of energy.
Yes.
Yes.
They do.
They can be tiring sometimes. But
Just ask your mom.
Yes. She had 4 of them. Yep. I'm sure she knows. But yeah, it's really fun. I love it. Yeah. And I get free food.
Free food. Do they pay you too?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's even better.
I
Free
know.
food and they pay you.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is this?
It's in Waterville Valley in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a camp, overnight camp. You can be a day camper or overnight camper. It's for 9 to 12-year-olds.
Oh, okay. So you're like the youngest counselor last year? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it's really cool. It's fun.
What kinds of activities did they do?
We hike. We play a bunch of games and sports. We do crafts. We do mountain biking. We do tie-dye. We go on field trips to water parks. All sorts of things. We do karaoke. We have dance parties. We actually had a DJ come in and do some DJing, and we had a little disco ball, and that was fun. Yeah, sums it all up.
Yeah. So I guess you're a very young singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm. That's kind of unique. But you said you had friends who played. What do they do? I mean, are they as good as you?
I don't know if I'm in the place to say that, but I don't have many I don't have many friends who write songs, and they're not as serious about it as me. I mean, my best friend, she's a little bit more serious than other people, but not really. I mean, she'll write a song like in a couple months, and you know, she'll just like play it for me. I mean, we always like send each other our song ideas and stuff. So, you know, and sometimes we wrote a song together actually once, but so she doesn't do it a ton. I mean, I'm the one who's like always performing and actually taking this a little bit more seriously. But I mean, her thing is more like musical theater and singing. But again, she does songwriting on the side. And then another one of my best friends, I've been teaching her guitar recently, and you know, she's been experimenting a little bit more, and I've been trying to help her write some songs. And you know, whenever I meet somebody, I always ask if they are a musician and write music, you know. So I've met a few new people this year who are songwriters, but nobody's as serious as I am from what I know. Yeah.
Well, you should hang out with some musicians and meet some serious musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've made actually a lot of connections through all the performing I've been doing, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can come here anytime and meet lots of musicians.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got people every Friday. We got songwriters in the round coming up. So we're starting every Friday. So
yeah, it's so great to have like so many musicians come from all over and just share their music.
Right, and share with each other. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you write in a bubble, and you don't know what other musicians are doing. And it's interesting because, like, I wrote a song and I won an award for the song, and then I heard I played it at an open. I think it was an open mic, and this other person who I didn't know comes up to me and says, I wrote basically the same kind of song. And I said, oh, that's good. Okay, really? And she did. So the song was about Boston underwater, and it's sort of a global warming sea shanty. I call it a post-apocalyptic dystopian sea shanty. So I wrote this thing, and I was very proud of it. But then she had written this other one that was the same idea. It wasn't the same song, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, and so you don't really know that till you actually talk to other musicians and hear the similarities and the differences and what you're doing. And now I like her a lot, and we hang out together. But you know, she was sort of with a chip on her shoulder when she came up to me because I didn't know her. But now we actually write songs together. We've been doing that. That's a night we have here, is a collaborative songwriting event.
That's nice.
Where you write with another person and share the ideas. I know you say that you don't like it when people tell you how to do stuff, but you'd be surprised how cool it is, because I was the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I've written songs with my best friends, but that's because, we're best friends because we agree upon the same things and we have similar experiences and we feel the same way about a lot of things. But, writing with somebody you don't know and you don't necessarily feel the same way about the same topics and have many similarities, I feel like is hard. And you don't have a lot of the same experiences and emotions. I feel like that's hard because, that's what songs are. And to be able to convert those experiences into something you guys can both relate to, so you guys can both write something well together, is definitely a challenge.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's why you do it.
Yeah.
Try and get another perspective on your music and, hear how somebody else does it. But there's there's a lot of stuff you can do just even without doing it with another person. But do you do the exercises like song prompts and things like that? Or do you just come up with it on your own? I
don't love song prompts because, as I said, it's kind of it just comes out of my emotions. I actually have. I used to do a Shakespeare camp in the summers. I think it was 2 years ago. There was this play that we made, and the director asked me to write songs for it, which I ended up doing, and they were actually pretty good for it.
Which play?
It was, I think, was it Midsummer's Night's Dream, I believe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote some songs for that, and they actually worked well, and I've done it for other things, but I just feel like it's more, you have to do this, you have to follow this. There's certain guidelines and rules, which I don't love in music, because one thing about like, one thing I love about music is, like, how unexpected and, you know, just unreliable almost it is, because so many things in our life are just, you know, so structured. I mean, the law aren't, but it's nice to just have something that's just comes naturally. But I don't know, it's, yeah,
I'll give you a little advice here. When I was in college, I took Shakespeare, and I did actually several courses in Shakespeare, and you know, we got to like all the plays nobody ever reads.
Yes.
That was a course too. They didn't call it that.
Yeah.
So I wrote. You know, I wanted to write the paper, but I really wanted to use music. So I wrote, like you did, songs for The Tempest and The Winter's Tale.
Oh my God, I love The Tempest.
Yeah, so I wrote Ariel's song, which is already in there.
I was Ariel.
Oh, were you? Great.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, I'll play it for you sometime.
You should, yeah.
But it's actually somebody picked it up randomly, and from Windsor, Ontario, they had a Shakespeare festival, and they picked up my arrangements, and they said, "We'd like to use your arrangements. Can we have permission?" This was early in the internet.
Wow.
So I said, "Okay," you know, and so they did. And I said, and I want a video to see it, and they never sent me one.
No.
But it was okay. But the thing is that experience, I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to use music with something like Shakespeare. And plus, you don't have to write the lyrics. They're already there.
Yeah. Well, I ended up writing the lyrics for mine.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. But,
really?
I don't know. My director gave me very loose guidelines. She was just like, write some songs for this. So I was like, okay. You know? And I've also, for all those songs, I used personal experiences for it, too, and, like, emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, for example, the breakup song that I played, you know, I put myself in that person's shoes. So that's what I kind of did for that. And it worked out well, but I don't love it as much as writing music without specific guidelines, but, you know, I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's worth stretching your imagination and your writing muscle.
Yeah, for sure.
To try and get a new thing out, especially when you want to try to get out of your comfort zone. You know, it's sometimes helpful.
Yeah. I feel like my problem mostly for writing music is, you know, the actual, like, chords and stuff and finding something new. I noticed, I mean, honestly, a lot of my songs sound very similar, and it's hard to write something different when you're, you know, used to the normal. So it definitely is important to stretch your comfort zone in whatever form of music you want to play or do, whether that's like lyrics or the actual music part of it, you know.
My next challenge, I think, is to try and I've noticed a lot of people around Lawrence do beats. My next challenge is to try and do an entirely electronic song.
Oh, I could not do that.
Yeah, I can't either, but I'm going to try anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is trying new stuff like that is really fun.
Yeah.
It might be terrible, but, you know, it might be good. I actually, the intro to this show...
Did you make that?
I did it on GarageBand, and I just was experimenting. You know, it's just loops.
Yeah, I actually did a music production class for middle school, and I did a lot of that. But a lot of the time, I made them based off of my own songs, because whenever I write a song, I need to sing. I love singing. I need to sing. I can't just make a song without singing. It's just incomplete, you know?
Well, I like writing a song on GarageBand like that because you don't have to worry about copyright at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just my thing, right?
Yeah.
So, that is the nice thing about playing music. You can be your own background for film, you know, if you make a film or a video.
Yeah.
So that's a cool way to do it. So we have one more song, I think.
Okay.
We have time for one more.
Okay. So this song I wrote about one of my best friends, and I actually did a performance this summer. And I realized, I was like, oh, today is my best friend's birthday. Mm-hmm. So I text her. I'm like, oh, hey, can you come to this show I'm performing at? It's in like 30 minutes, right? She's like, oh, yeah, totally. And I was like, oh, yeah, and by the way, happy birthday, of course. And so I had like 20 minutes before I needed to go and leave for the performance. And I sat down on my bed and wrote her a song. So, and then when I got to the show, I performed it for her. And she didn't know. I didn't even know 20 minutes earlier that I was going to perform it. And then I performed her that song. So, pretty cool.
It is. Did you use the words? Like, did you have to have the sheet in front of you, or did you memorize?
I memorized it.
In 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Wrote it and memorized it in 20 minutes.
Yep.
I hope there weren't very many words in it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, you'll hear it. So.
All right.
You taught me this chord progression a while back, and I'll never forget our midnight snacks, staying up till 10. Remember way back when we rode in your car and talked with weird accents. We've been so close ever since we learned to put on a tie with gold and blue stripes. And my friends know your friends, it depends, but you know me better than the rest. We've been through a lot, but you're always beside me and make me laugh so hard. So I wouldn't trade you for anybody here. Everyone else could disappear, and I'd be happy. And I'd be happy. You're a supermodel with personality, and trust me, that's something rare to see. Natalie, Natalie. We met in the pool on the 15th. One of my greatest memories, and I can never forget this brunette. I know this sounds like a love song, 'cause I love you, and I know that won't change for long. 'Cause you're so unique and there's so much like me. I know I just can't go wrong. So I wouldn't trade you for anybody here. Everyone else could disappear, and I'd be happy. I'd be happy. You're a supermodel with personality. Trust me, that's something rare to see. Natalie, Natalie. Natalie.
So that's did she cry when she heard it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah. It was a very, very memorable moment. Very sweet. Yeah.
Well, this has been a lot of fun talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I think I hope you can come again and do some more performances. So can you tell people about your website, your social media? Where should they find you online and stuff?
Yeah, so actually, if you just search in Safari, Antonia_music.com, you can find all my information. It has my Spotify, Apple Music, I think Pandora, YouTube, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter account. So that should all be linked just in Antonia_music.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope that you have a good time at Scout Camp and other stuff. And,
thank you.
And hope you have a good Halloween, because we're about to have a Halloween party.
Ooh,
although, you know, and we're having another one on October 30th if you are interested. Might even be able to get you to perform at that one.
Oh, maybe. We'll see. I can write a Halloween song.
You could. Something scary. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay, never mind.
I can write sad. Sad is my specialty.
Yeah, it's got to be about a ghost or something that died, and yeah, that would be good.
I could try that.
There's your song prompt.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We've been talking with Antonia, and she is available at Antonia_music. You look up that in Safari, which also means on Google, or anywhere else, and she'll be on there somewhere. So everybody have a great week, and remember to look at onebroadway.org for more information about events coming up. That's onebroadway.org.